Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, I've been getting a lot of messages about this, and sometimes what y'all have to realize is because I'm out here and because I have a brand and a following, sometimes it's only 1 or 2 degrees of separation when y'all ask me to speak on somebody. And I don't know Travis Hunter personally, never met him, never talked to him, but I know some of his coaches and people around him. And so with things like that, you have to take a measured approach, because if you can eventually talk to a person, then it's better to talk to them than about them. And so that's why I was taking my time to see if I would be able to talk to him before teaching the lessons from it about it. And my goal with these, when we cover people in the media, celebrities or whatever you call them, my goal with these is because these people are in our eye line, our eyesight, and we get to see what they represent. And then also some of us are raising sons and raising daughters who could end up in the limelight or doing certain things, sports or whatever it may be. But for me, being a relationship coach for the last 15 plus years, and also being a matchmaker a lot of those years, when I look at this relationship, I look at it a bit different. And what I see is a young man who is growing, and one thing that people don't realize is that a man's interest changes. And so a lot of people putting a lot of stock into this, but I've watched guys be with a woman their entire college career, go to the pros, and meet women that just look on a insane another level. Like, it's so many looks out there. And I've watched guys, and I'm talking about guys that I like and trust. Like, I like them as a person. Like, they good people. Like, guys that we like, we trust, we know. Prime example, Deion Sanders. It's like, he has not, in his age, he's in his mid 50s, 55, 56. He has not been able to figure out a relationship. And he's one of the most influential, inspirational men on the planet. But relationships are not easy. It's not easy. And that's why I put so much stock on it, because I'm a man and I know how hard it is for us as men to acclimate to a relationship and to make a relationship work, because we are, for the most part, we set the tone. Like, we set the temperature in the room, and we dictate and determine if the success of the relationship. Yes, there are women who can ruin a relationship and be terrible in a relationship. I'm aware of that. But a woman is built for love. And if a man do how he need to do, he can regulate some things to a large degree. Can't change a woman, can't make a woman do nothing, but can regulate some things and give the relationship the best chance possible. But as men, a lot of times when it comes to communication and things of that nature, we're underdeveloped. So here's the thing with Travis is, for one, it's the lust of the eye. You know, he's a black man. She appears to be, biracial or something, or Hispanic. She's of another race. She may have black in her, I don't know. But most men, I want you to understand this, most men like their opposite, because a lot of men don't like looking themselves in the mirror. And so if a man is dark skinned, he want a light skin. If a man is light skinned, he want a dark skin. On average, if you notice, a lot of light skinned black men have a darker skinned woman, and a lot of darker skinned black men have a lighter skinned woman. And opposites attract. That's why it says that. That's why that quote exists. Opposites attract. So it's the lust of the eye. He thought she was pretty. What a lot of people calling Travis crazy, calling him a simp, things of that nature. She gave us some insight to this. She said when Travis shot his shot at her, he was in a relationship and had his woman name in his bio. So to put his woman name in his bio as a kid, that's too serious. And that's also other implications, and that's what you have to realize. There are men like that. So Travis is a lover. It's something that he has experienced in his life, something he's gone through in his life. It has made him value connection and value loyalty and value relationship, honor and trust. It's no telling the woman what, based on what she said, if that's a true story, it's no telling if the girlfriend he was with had cheated on him or was cursing him out or dogging him out, and that was leading him that way, or if he was just ready for an upgrade. If he looked like, hey, this is who I could get in high school at this level, this who I want at the next level. Like this, I'm going to the next level. And see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is the same thing could happen when he goes to the NFL. Like that's another level. And it's gonna be another, that's like they say, new levels, new devils. That's another level, and it's gonna be another level of temptation. And one thing that I have learned in my life is never to judge anybody. Like we could sit out and assess the situation, but we can never honestly say what we would do if we were them. So notice I have not said what I would do if I was Travis, because I'm not Travis, and I cannot begin to imagine what it would be like to be Travis Hunter. I cannot begin to imagine. And I have learned that because I made that mistake in my life, like looking at somebody and judging them and saying, oh, this is what I do, this is what I do. And then when I got to that level, when I got to that position, I'm like, whoa, this look and feel totally different than what I thought it would be. And so that's also, for example, and the reason why I'm referencing Deion Sanders, I know Deion be seen the video, man, why you bringing me in? Why I'm catching straight? It's just because that's like his second father, and that's his mentor. That's who he look at. That's who he look up to. That's who he close to. But look at this. Deion Sanders was with a woman, and he had, I think, 2 kids. And then he got with another woman, and I think maybe he had 3 kids. And so, but then after the second child's mother, after the second mother of his children, he got into another relationship with Tracy Edmonds. I'll tell you no lie. The first time I seen his second Pilar, that was like, I thought that was the prettiest woman that I had ever seen in my life. I was like, what in the absolute world? Like, what is this? Like, what, like how, like when did God make somebody with all of these features that just go together like this? And for that age group, you know, I was younger, so it's relative. I don't look at her the same now. And being a married man and seeing my wife every day and being in love, it also changed the way you look at women. A lot of people don't realize that, but it changed the way you look at women. It's one thing these people cannot do is park up here to my office. They cross the line now. And I just could not believe it. But then guess what? That relationship came to an end. And that's what I try to tell you, is like, a lot of people talking about Travis this, Travis this, Travis this. It's like, and the thing about it is, you're gonna protect your person. But one thing I'm gonna tell you, as a man who is a relationship coach and in the public eye, it affects you. It affects you. Words have power. and no words return void. The only way words return void is if you take those words that you have heard and you rebuke them in the name of Jesus, and you say, I refuse to allow these words to take root in my life. I rebuke it, I reject it. And I don't think, Travis and his woman are at that place spiritually. The other thing is they so young and it's so much pressure, and we ought to be doing better as adults, but we talking about children basically. I mean, they adults, but they young adults, and we talking about them and we put them in the crosshairs, and it's hard to deal with. And that's why I'm taking a different approach, because it's a young brother. And what you have to understand and realize is that what they do is they say the quiet part out loud. That's one of the things that they do. Like, Travis did a video when he was saying, like, hey, y'all clickbait pages, y'all better stop. Something bad gonna happen to you. Something bad gonna happen to you. Nah, he not finna up the blicky on nobody. That ain't what he was talking about. I think he was just saying, speaking of like what go around come around, or page could get took down or something like that. But just kind of saying, keep my name out your mouth. But people was trying to imply that he was threatening violence, but this man got too much to lose. He's not gonna do nothing, nobody talking. And guess what? That's a lesson that for him to learn too, is when you're in the public eye, people gonna talk. It's just, you can't get around that. You got to learn how to deal with it. Almost as good as Deion Sanders, because the people gonna talk, and that come with it. And I got people that's idiots online. It's a woman who is a drunk. They call her the spiritual whistleblower. This woman is a drunk, and she be calling me a narcissist every day. Narcissist, and talking about, wait till this come out on Tony, wait till that come out on Tony. I'm 100% faithful to my wife. Been married 17 years. I'm like, what you waiting on to come out? How long I got to be married and faithful for you to realize that I really do this? That I'm the real deal. That I'm not playing no games. That I'm not out here fooling around. Like, you not finna catch me in nothing, because I don't do nothing. Dummy. But that come with the territory. Is you gonna have witches and warlocks and idiots speaking on you. And you got to let it roll off your back. You got to be able to say, you know what? These people talking about me because they want to be me. They talking about me because they jealous of me. They talking bad about me because they jealous of me. That's how you got to take that, Travis Hunter. And then, and fiance, y'all have to take that differently. You got to understand people going to talk. And the next thing you got to do, and this to every relationship out there, keep your relationship behind closed doors. Like, I remember working in the group home before my career took off doing what I'm doing now. I was working in a group home, and the lady I was working with, she said, Tony, I tell my kids a relationship is like a house, and you lock your doors. Keep your relationship business private. If y'all notice, I protect my wife. My wife, me and her she don't come on my channel. We don't talk, because the thing about it is if you're gonna get mad about somebody talking bad about you, then you shouldn't show your relationship. If you're gonna show your relationship, then you're asking for it to be judged and critiqued. If you notice, my wife don't come on here because she has no desire, because she knows that she's not mentally ready to handle people's opinions, because she says she is a fighter. She said, I don't do the back and forth. She said, a girl tried me in high school. I rammed her head into a brick wall. And she said, nobody ever tried me after that. My wife has a family friend who got a scar on his face to this day, because she smashed his head she pushed him down the stairs and he hit a doorknob. She messed up, bust her cousin nose. Me and her don't play around for that very reason, because she gets way too aggressive, way too fast. And I realize somebody gonna get hurt. So we don't even play wrestle. We don't do none of that. So my wife knows that she will snap. She Jamaican. Her mama like that. Her daddy like that. Their attitude is different. Like, they'll cut their big toe off if they get in an argument with it and never speak to it again. Won't even treat it with no lotion, no water, no soap. They hold grudges. They don't play. And so you have to know how you are. So what Travis said the other night, he said the quiet part, I don't know what it was, but he did a video and he was like, y'all better start talking about us. Something bad gonna happen to you. And it was like, where she at or something. He was like, she sleep. He was like, she drunk an insane amount for no reason. He said the quiet part out loud. He said she slumped. He said she's, so in that right there, he told us that this young lady drunk herself to sleep because of the comments online. And look, he got to look at that and see that and feel that. And then, you know, she come out, she addressed the stuff, she addressed the allegations and all of this, and she explaining her side. And what a lot of people don't realize is that she said the quiet part out loud. She said she left him on red or whatever in the beginning, and in the beginning he wasn't her type. Now she trying to say he wasn't her type because he was appearing to be a cheater and something else. But to be honest with you, I would say 7 or 8 out of 10 women, 70 to 80% of women could say the same thing about their husband. That initially she wasn't sure if he was all the way her type. But she said it out loud. But most people not gonna say that out loud. Like, you gotta look at every single situation. Like, I don't think people are paying attention to this. Most men who are athletes or successful in any industry have a woman that is 2 or 3 notches higher than them on the look scale. Look around. Look around. Like, really look around and think about this thing. A lot of people don't think about that. Most people most men who have any form of success have a woman that look better than them. In most cases, you have somewhere you looks compatible and you on the same level. Typically, you met before the woman could even process or realize that the man could be a millionaire one day. And this young lady, Travis said he been with her 5 years. It's a good possibility that she did not. I mean, you can't predict something like that. I don't know. Maybe he could have been #1 in high school or something like that. And maybe you just assume, yeah, he going somewhere, he gonna do something big. But at the same time, that plays a part of it. People looking at this situation with this young lady, and they're like, oh, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's every woman. Like, it's listen, it's basic broke women that I try to introduce them to a man. How much do he make? He make 50, 70. That ain't enough. That ain't enough for me. That's an average thing for a woman. So let's say on the look scale, a woman say Travis is whatever number. Whatever number a woman will get him on the look scale. When you add a job to that, you add money to that, you add fame to that, that add points to your looks. Your looks ain't just your face. Your looks is also what family lineage you come from, your family you come from, your money, your status, your name. All of that plays into your look score. Like, I know men who come from wealthy families, and they have a woman that would not otherwise be attracted to them just by their face. And y'all remember what I tell y'all about that study, that thing I saw on Tyra Banks' show way back in the day, around the time that I went on her show to promote my first book. at 25 years old, I was watching her show, and they were in New York, and they had a paper, just normal old paper like this. They had the paper, and they had the picture of a little square right here of a white man, and he was chubby cheek, so he was like my face times 2, maybe 2.5, and they had his name, John, age 36, job chemistry or something like that, and height, whatever the height was. They walked around the 10 different women, and they said, look at this man, you know, his name, his stats or whatever. What do you give him? Everybody gave this man from a 1 to a 3. They took another sheet of paper. They had the same thing, and they put salary, $325,000 a year. They walked around to another 10 women. Tyra, you see this? Repost that episode. They walked around to another 10 women. Every woman gave this man an 8 or a 9. These women did not, they weren't the women who saw the before picture without the $325,000 a year salary. And they gave this man an 8 or a 9 with a straight face. When they saw that 325, it climbed buddy up. So that's what people don't understand. Like what we judging and critiquing, that's everyday life. Like that's a real thing. Like every woman judge a man like that. The same way this young lady said the quiet part out loud, and she said, well, this was in his bio, this right here, this right, whatever. And people trying to say, you know, and she's saying, I ain't got no type. Typically, a racially ambiguous woman like that, a lot of times they don't have a type. Because like when we look at her, I can't tell if she is black and white, if she is black and Hispanic, if she is white and Hispanic, if she, Hispanic is a mix anyways. Hispanic is a mix. A lot of times, a lot of Hispanics don't want to admit that, but a lot of Hispanics have African, European, or something. You know, what you call it, Asian. It's a melting pot and got dropped off. Like their ancestors got dropped off in wherever it may be, Mexico or Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or Cuba. A lot of times, some Hispanics don't want to admit that they roots will trace them back to Africa. I mean, we all come from Africa, but a lot of times people try to disassociate from that. I got a white guy try to make like he ain't got no African nowhere in his history as far as you go back. I'm like, humans come from Africa, so you people go to Africa, and so this is the thing. So it's very real that she may not have a type. Guess what? I have another client that is like her. And I was talking to my client, and I'm like, you know, well, as a white woman, she was like, what, Tony? White woman? She's like, I am black. I am a black woman. I said, well, she said, Tony, my dad is black. My mom is white. I was like, for real? I said, I ain't see that. I said, I thought you were white. I said, I thought you was a white woman. She said, what? Oh my goodness, I am black. And then I met another lady. And she happened to be the wife of an NFL player. And we all having a meeting. We sitting down having a business meeting. And I'm like, you know, and I said, now, what is your, like your ethnicity or what? She's like, I'm black. I was like, oh, really? Okay. She like, Tony, Then she went from the white voice to the black voice. And so they switched the whole voice on me. So when you look at a lady like Travis Hunter, fiance, it could be very well true that she don't have a type. But the issue is, if they let us in their game room, they say the quiet part out loud. They put everything on Front Street. That's the mistake that they making. But their relationship makeup is a normal makeup of a relationship. I want you to Google black athletes, and all of them is with a woman that look better than them. All of them is with a woman who is a couple notches on the look scale higher than them across the board. You rarely see, unless you as a woman look at a black athlete and you say, oh my goodness, that man is so fine. Unless you say that as a woman, unless you could say that about that man, 9 out of 10 times, his woman look better than him. Except for the ones who met a woman in high school. So Patrick Mahomes, him and his woman on the same level. I think they met in high school or something like it. Russell Wilson and his ex-wife, they was on the same level. I think they met in high school or something like it. Now, y'all talking about Russell is fine. I can't judge a man. But now he got Ciara. One thing I can tell is that Ciara on a whole nother level than that ex-wife. Because he got that ex-wife that had them teeth on her. And she had that big old smile where they would ask her a question. And she had that big old, all them teeth out. That's Russell Wilson ex. Look at Ciara. So now think about this now. Think about this. Y'all talking about Travis. Travis raised by dogs. And when I say dogs, I'm talking about every sense of the word. Travis raised by killers. Travis out of Florida. Travis a different breed. Listen, if Russell Wilson could divorce his wife, his holy rolling Christian, he got a clothing line called Good Man Brand. I got one of the shirts. If he could go through a divorce, if he could wake up and say, oh, something ain't right about this. I'm out of there. Ciara, come here, do that typewriter for me. He get with Ciara. I guarantee you, if it's any red flags behind closed doors with Travis Hunter's fiance, I guarantee you he gonna leave. I guarantee you. If that woman ain't in march and step and doing what she need to do, how she need to do it, every step of the way, Travis got dogs around him that's gonna say, listen, bro, she got to go. She got to go. She a liability. Listen to me. You want to lose 200 million like Michael Jordan? You want to lose 150 million like Kobe Bryant almost had to lose before he got his woman back? Like, listen, bro, she got to go. You want to lose all your endorsements and everything like Jonathan Majors did with his little situation? If it's something, because see, we can't see they behind the scenes. They say a lot of the quiet out loud and they put a lot on Front Street, but we don't know the inner workings. We don't know what she rescued him from, in the sense of we don't know the nights that she consoled him, the nights that she was there for him. We don't know what she know about him. She know him on another level. He know her on another level. So that's why I always preface this when I speak on these couples to say, these lessons isn't just about these couples because we truly don't know the details. What I am addressing is the optics, what it looks like, so that we can take and discern what we need to discern, and we address and pull the lessons that we need for ourselves. That's what I touch on. That's what I deal with. Because so the lessons from it is, for one, number one lesson is make sure that you aren't just, make sure that you're not dating from a place of self-hate. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people are assuming that this woman is only with Travis because of his money and all of that right there, or where he's going, and that she would not be attracted to him for no other reason. That's the assumption of a lot of people. What I look at and what I say to black men is, make sure you're not choosing a woman because she is of a different race. Make sure that you truly love black people, that you truly love black women, that you love women who look like your mother, make sure that you have no internal hate towards your own kind first before you choose a woman. And when you choose a woman, make sure you choosing her authentically and organically, not from self-hate. So if you go to choose a woman or a man as a woman, don't choose that person because you don't like the black skin that you're in. So you choosing a white person or an Asian person or a Spanish person because you don't like your black skin, because you don't like your wide black nose, because you don't like your thick black lips, because you don't like your kinky or coarse black hair. Make sure that you love you and everything about you, and that you can look at the equivalent of you in the opposite sex and you can see beauty. And if you could look at a black woman or a black man who is your same color, your same hair texture, your same nose, your same lips, and you could say, ooh, you look good. Now you are set and you are ready to love anybody on the face of this earth, because you loving from self-love and not from self-hate. The second lesson is, don't lock in too fast. Do not move in with somebody that you are not married to. Do not play house with somebody. Be independent while you are dating. And when you are married, you become interdependent. Oh, well, you need to live with somebody so you know how they live and how they is and all of that. That is a lie. That is a lie. When you go to the army, you was in the bunkers and barracks with people you never met in your life. When you go to college, you was in a dorm room with people you never met in your life. When you get on a team, you was in a locker room looking at people's naked body, and they looking at your naked body with people you never met in your life. That is a lie. Humans are created to coexist and to come together. You don't have to live with somebody and play house before you get married, because love conquers all. So when you have real love, let me tell you what real love, when you fall in love, let me tell you what real love will allow you to do. Love will allow you to eat or fart. Love will allow you, your partner pass gas. What the rip? What the rip? What you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then you'll start to laugh. Y'all will bust out laughing. That's what love is. And so when you fall in love and you move together, you can smell that boo-boo. You can smell that fart. You can hear that snoring. You can see the toilet seat up with pee around the ring of it. You can see the tampon that wasn't all the way wrapped up good enough and it done soaked through the toilet tissue and got that blood everywhere. You could see the this and that. You could see the dirty drawers, the dirty socks and all that when you are in love. See, the reason why the devil have us shacking up, because he knows it's going to derail and destroy the potential of marriage. I got an interview in 20 minutes. Y'all forgive me. I almost forgot. Because when you move in with somebody for financial convenience, for your convenience, to have you a do boy or a do girl, to have you a daily sex partner, a companion because of your childhood trauma, and you need a human teddy bear. When you move in with somebody for those reasons, and I'm not saying that's what they did because I don't know their reasoning, but when you do that, it can destroy your relationship because you smelling fart, smelling boo-boo, smelling burp, smelling breath, hearing snoring, and you don't even love this person. Y'all ain't even been together 6 months and y'all done moved in. Another thing is know when it's appropriate and when it's time to really date and lock in. Like, live your life and don't be in long-term, deep, committed relationships because you building soul ties and then you don't even really know what you want. So encourage young men and young women to date around without sleeping around. So somebody like Travis, he should have been in behind the scenes, like dating without anybody even knowing who he talking to. So he getting a feel, but he is a lover. But when you tell your son, like my son is a senior in high school, still has not had his first kiss, still has not had his first girlfriend, because he's around me and he hear me talk about relationships and he see relationships. So when I say, son, you gonna get your girlfriend? Like, why you ain't got no girlfriend? He's like, Dad, it's just meaningless. It's just meaningless at this age, because what am I gonna do? Like, all you do is write notes to each other, text each other, go to the movies. Like, you hold hands. Like, what you gonna do, kiss? He was like, what's the point of all that? And I'm like, what you mean, son? Like, you building with a woman that could be your wife? He was like, what's the likelihood of me marrying one of these girls from my school? He was like, I go to a private school, this little old school. Like, these girls, I'm not even attracted to them. I'm not finna do that and then mess my name up. And he's like, and then I can't talk to another girl who is my home girl, because this girl, he was like, I see my friends doing this. They so focused on dating and they messing up their whole social life because they talking to this girl, this their girlfriend, and now they can't be friends with this other girl that they've been friends with their whole life because this girl jealous. He was like, I'm not getting into all that. And so he'll have some girls that moved in on him. Girls come from money, millionaires, daddy millionaires. Now me, I'm looking at it. I'm about to start looking at it like a business move. Like, son, hey, nah, that girl daddy got some money, nah. Boy, you gonna be good. My son, I ain't worried about that. I'm gonna have my own money. And I'm just joking, when not being serious. But I'm thinking, if I was him, coming from what I come from, I would have seen it like that. But my son grew up with money. He fly on private jets. He ride to practice in a Mercedes Sprinter van. He got everything. So he's not impressed by a young lady coming from money. Now, if it were me from Polk County, Florida, and I met a woman with some money, oh, that's all she had to have. Child, you could look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You got some money. Hey, I'm in there. And so he's different. So he said, in college, I want to meet my wife. And he already saying, like, she got to be, I want a wife by 5'6" to 5'9". He was like, because I want to have kids. I want my kids to be able to have some height and not have to deal with what I got to go through, because my son, he ain't had a growth spurt yet. And so he about 5'7". And he like, he don't want to go through that. He was like, she got to be athletic. She got to be beautiful. And guess what? His whole life, I've been pushing to him black beauty, black beauty, black beauty. Because I never want him to hate himself. Never want him to hate the skin that he in. Never want him to want a white woman thinking that the white race is better than the black race. If you meet a white woman, y'all meet in a chemistry lab, y'all hit it off, it's organic, I could deal with that. You choose a woman for her complexion because you don't like your complexion, I can't deal with that. And I'm going to run you up out of here. I'm going to get on you so bad to where you're going to question everything in your life. I'm not finna deal with it. No sir, Bob. Everything got to be on the up and up. And so here we go. We talking about it. And so I'm talking to my son, and we dealing with this thing, you know? And that's what I say. So you got to tell your kids, don't be so quick to date. Like, it's okay to have friends. It's okay to, you know, this right here, this, that, there. But don't be so quick to date. Like, understand that you could take your time. That's the mistake. The other thing is, treat your relationship like a house. Now, I expounded upon this because the young lady told me about this, and so I expounded upon it. Y'all forgive my reading this appointment that I got in 14 minutes and just trying to make sure everything on the up and up. And so, okay. And the young lady, she said, treat your relationship like a house. You know what I said about that? You lock your doors. You close your blinds unless you want sunshine. You mow your grass so you can see the snakes in your life. And you pay your dues, meaning you give everything to it. You pay your property taxes so you could keep your house. And that's how you treat your relationship like a house. The mistake that they are making, Travis and them, the mistake they making is they telling all their business. And and that's because Travis is young. And so he's in the YouTube era. So for them, he sees these content creators who have couples channels. And so when you see these couples channels, you want to do that. You want to be a YouTuber. You want that YouTube bag. And if you got a relationship, you show that relationship because it's good quality content. But what you fail to realize is anything that you are showing is going to be tested. Anything you showing going to be tested. You drop your guard, your jaw going to get tested. Anything you show. So when you promoting, like for me, I go through spiritual warfare in the space of love and relationships because I talk on love and relationships every day. So I go through spiritual warfare and I have to be on my P's and Q's. I got to be prayed up, stayed up. I have to be focused. I got to have self-care, self-love. I got to have a routine. I got to have consistency. I got to do all of that because otherwise I'll be in a bad mood, doing the wrong thing, doing all that. Everything will be going wrong because that's where the devil want to test me at in my relationship. So if you got a relationship and you want your relationship to last, protect your relationship. Remember, it's a difference between secrecy and privacy. So secrecy is people not even seeing a picture of your other half. Privacy is people not knowing y'all business, y'all arguments, how y'all met, what you thought about each other and all of that. When you put that out there, it got to be for a purpose. So the people on my channel, they know that about me because I'm a relationship coach. So I bring transparency. But even with that, I don't tell all me and my wife business. You know about 10% of our relationship, but that 10% is for the sake of teaching, using us as an example. And even that get twisted and it get used against me. And people come and you said this about your wife, or you said this about y'all, or you said this, or you said that. And then I have to reiterate, every relationship is different. So that was just an example, but you not Cherie Gaskins. He not Tony Gaskins. So don't try to do everything the exact same way because your mom and daddy relationship might even work out. So don't come on the internet where you just getting bits and pieces of people's relationship and then trying to emulate it to a T when you don't even got all the details. You ain't got all the T to emulate it to a T. So you can't cross your T, nor can you dot your I. So you got to get the general knowledge, get the insight, and then you go in your relationship and you craft and create the recipe for your relationship. And so, and this is the thing. We as grown folks got to stop taking these young folks' relationships so serious. Is another lesson for us is we can't take that so serious. And we got to get to a place. See, this is the thing. I need Chrome, but my desktop might be too old to let me get Chrome. They trying me. And so this is the thing. Think about this. And I know a lot of people want to say, oh, she a gold digger. I know a lot of people want me to come on here and call the lady a gold digger. I mean, listen, that's relationships. Like, that's every woman. Every woman want their man to be financially at their level. It's all relative. Every woman want their man to be a man, to be able to provide, to have some type of status in the workplace, to be able to bring some money home. So I know that played a part in her choosing him, his name, his status. She says that it was just who he is as a person, and he seemed like a great person, so I get it. But it had to be something to make her look within, especially seeing that he had a woman in his bio. So it had to be something, and so she did some recognizance, but she's not gonna say, well, yes, another thing that played into it is he was the #1 player coming out of high school, or I don't know if they met wherever they met, you know, high school, or he was #1 in the state, in his state in high school, or at whatever, #1 recruit, or she's not going to add that in there because it's just going to be taken the wrong way. But that is a relevant thing. Like, that is something you should do. Like, what does this person bring to the table? Like, okay, I like this person as a person, but what else do they bring to the table? Like, who else are there? Because if he was a dope boy, then it's like, okay, do you still choose him? If he a dope boy who gonna lose his life or go to the feds or get you killed or get you in trouble, do you still choose him? So yes, the resume and what a person does matters. And we have to understand that, like, people, and that's not even realistic. Like, women get mad with me when I tell a woman, let a man's character be his currency. And that's what she's saying she did. She's saying she let his character be his currency, meaning be his money, be his net worth, his character, who he is as a person. But at the same time, she's saying she's an amazing person, but he left another woman. So he broke up with another woman and got with her. So at the same time, that shows that he could leave her and get with another woman. And I'm going to be honest with you. Do I think they're going to last? Unfortunately, no. And the reason why is because I don't feel the Holy Spirit dripping off of them. And I'm going to be honest with you. To make a relationship work in the limelight, like in a real way, it got to be a major LeBron James type of bag. And even then, because look at Tom Brady, went through a divorce and he got LeBron James type of money. Honestly, it got to be God. Or you really got to be a fit. So like LeBron and Savannah, they look like they could be siblings. Just like a lot of y'all say, me and my wife look like we could be siblings. When you look like you could be siblings, that's when you know you meant to be. That's when you locked in. That's when you know you about best friends, because you chose somebody who remind you of yourself. When the opposites attract, everything got to be aligned perfectly for it to work. Because what you got to remember is a relationship is a lifetime. So I would be very surprised if they last another 10 years. I'll be surprised if they last another 5 years going the way they're going. Now, if they come talk to a doctor like myself, who study this and do this every day, who have found success, then I believe they could work, because they will get the pieces of the puzzle of how a young, successful millionaire is with a woman who, my wife looks Spanish, but she black and Indian. How we have been able to make it work with me having 3.5 million followers online and being in the limelight, building my brand, giving them that recipe. And we married, not engaged, not dating. And we've been married 17 plus years, almost 18 years. March 30th will make 18 years, and I'm 40 years old. So it's a different bag that I got, because I've been married since I was 23 years old in a couple weeks. 23 years old and 3 weeks old. I've been married since then to one woman. I got 2 children from the same woman, from my wife. That right there, in this day and age, as a millennial, is rare. It's rare. So, and then yes, I'm tooting my horn, but my horn is powered by Jesus Christ. So I'm boasting in the Lord, as the Bible says. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, when I say I didn't feel the Holy Spirit come off of them, and she drinking herself to sleep, and they curse and, you know, into the worldly lifestyle, they might pray and all of that, but you got to really know God. You got to really walk with God. God can't be an ornament on your Christmas tree. God can't be a thing. God can't be like, you got to really be locked in, all the way locked in. You hear me? And so once you have that right there, now you can last. And it ain't about no, oh, I got a special relationship with the Lord. God don't have special relationships. God has no favor of persons. The Bible says God shows no favor of person. Everybody got to get to know God. And God treat everybody the same. It ain't that, because you this or because you that, I'm gonna let you fornicate and I'm gonna bless you. But the other people, they can't fornicate to get blessings. They got to do the right thing to get their blessings. No, playboy, they ain't how it work. Oh, I'm gonna let you, because this right here, I'm gonna let you do this, man, I can't get that Chrome. Let me see if I can get the Mac out. Oh, they got the Mac out. Let me see if I can get the Mac out. Let's see. And so that's the thing. So I want you to realize and understand this. I got an interview to do here in 3 minutes about my YouTube channel funding, how we got it funded and raised $500,000 and how I earn a living. This is called A Funded YouTuber, the interview I'm doing with Gigastar. And thank you to my investors, those of y'all who invested in the channel. God bless you. Glad to have you. And also get over to TonyGassinsAcademy.com and pre-order. This is my year. It'll be 31 videos to help you kick off your 2025 the right way. It's only $25. Don't miss it while it's at that price, because it's really a $97 course. And it'll go up to that on January 1st. So if you're under the sound of my voice, grab that today or as soon as you get a blessing. And ironically, I know a lot of people be like, oh, this here. A lot of people ain't got $25. So, and I know that. And so that's honestly why I do things the way I do it. That's why I take and make my courses so affordable, because I have a situation where, no, what's this going on now? What it's trying to say? Wow. And see, this desktop, I can't get the Mac software man, I made it had this thing too many years. Thing look good too. Well, got to buy me a new desktop, Mac desktop, and I'm gonna be blessing somebody with this one here. So I'm trying to download this here. And look how nice this thing look, man. Thing look good, look like it'll, but it ain't got the Mac. It won't let me get the Mac version I need. And this is the thing with Apple. Apple is the Illuminati, and so they don't want to coexist with nobody. So nothing work on Safari. You got to download Chrome, which is owned by Google. And then this right here, you can't even do it. But hey, God bless you. Got to go. I got to get in touch with the lady who interviewed him and let her know I'm gonna have to do something different. Oh, I got Chrome on my laptop. See, that laptop ain't got that good camera though. But hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.